In 1994, another film by James Cameron, True Lies, with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the title role, came out on our screens. Mysterious are the ways of the Lord, and this movie could easily have not happened at all, if it weren't for one thing. It all started when James Cameron got a phone call from Arnie. "I have a project for you. I watched this movie recently, and the main character seemed very interesting to me." The film which attracted the actor's attention was the French comedy Total Surveillance by Claude Zidi. Upon watching the movie, Cameron came to the conclusion that if you adapt it for modern American audiences, you can get a really good film. So without thinking twice, he bought the rights from Claude Zidi, who was the writer and the director of Total Surveillance. If everything was relatively clear with the actor for the main male role, the same cannot be said about the female protagonist. Cameron, known for his love for strong heroines, felt that the super agent's wife from True Lies was in many ways like his own mother, and was very afraid to make a mistake with the casting. So the original choice for the role of Helen was Jodie Foster, who was very interested in the script but had to turn it down because of a scheduling conflict. Other candidates included Ellen DeGeneres, Isabella Rossellini, and Kira Sedgwick. In the end, though, Cameron chose Jamie Lee Curtis, who did a brilliant job. The film was shot almost entirely without chroma key. Many stunts were performed in real street or on the mock-ups. The explosion on the bridge was filmed using a model of the bridge, reduced 6 times and about 20 meters long, and mini copies of cars. The mini bridge was built in shallow water. The structure was weakened before the explosion, and charges were placed, which were triggered when the truck crossed a certain point. Masterful editing creates the illusion that the bridge explodes because of the rockets. The rockets themselves and the train they left behind them were computer-drawn, while the bridge was long enough to shoot 2 takes. The episode when Van hangs on the edge of the destroyed bridge was filmed afterwards at Cameron's request. According to the authors, the van was supposed to hang on the edge and swing for a while, and then fall straight down. Several takes were made, but unsuccessfully. The van did not want to fall straight down, but instead flipped on the roof. As it turned out, the problem was with the front wheels. The rubber tires were springing and made the car roll over. Then the stunt director Leslie Ecker made 2 wheels out of plywood, painted them to make them look real, and the car felt like it should. Finally. Schwarzenegger admitted that the most stressful scenes for him were those in the cockpit of an airplane, in a confined, cramped space under a glass hood. Quite understandably so. And the most technically complicated were the 2 scenes where he had to dance tango with Tia Carrere and Jamie Lee. For that he had to learn how to dance for half a year and frankly did not achieve much success. Because in both scenes he just paces back and forth, while his partner wriggles around him. Nevertheless, the final tango, full of passion and fire, is considered one of the most successful scenes of the entire film. The filming involved 3 real Harrier jet fighters. Cameron had to spend a whopping $100,000 to pay for their rent. And yes, sorry to break it to you, but Arnold himself of course does not know how to fly a jet plane. For a scene where he has to be at the controls, they created several models of the aircraft of different sizes. They were hung on cables with a crane. Then all the cables were removed during the subsequent image processing. For close-up shots, a model was built on a hydraulic platform that could reproduce the movements of a real plane during flight. However, what Schwarzenegger lacked in piloting department he more than made up for with his horse riding. No wonder considering the actor's athletic build. The scene in which he chases Aziz on horseback was shot in the lobby and elevators of the Westin Bonaventure Hotel in the center of Los Angeles. Although, according to the script, it was supposed to be Marriott Hotel in Washington. The police horse was quote-unquote played by 4 different horses, each performing a separate action. If you look closer, you can see that the white spot on their faces is slightly different. Even though Arnold is an excellent rider, in some scenes his double had to replace him. Cameron was so fixated on the naturalness of filming that even the scene on the roof where the horse throws Schwarzenegger was shot on the actual roof of the hotel. And this almost resulted in a tragedy. One of the workers dropped the iron bar. The horse, scared by the sharp sound, ran and almost threw Arnie from a 30-meter height. He was miraculously saved by the double, who managed to pull the actor off the horse at the last moment. The episodes where Dana hangs from the plane and Aziz walks on the hull of the fighter and then hangs from the rocket were filmed using that very model of the fighter and the huge green screen. A bird's-eye view of the street was filmed separately and then combined with the image of the fighter jet in post-production. But one of the scariest scenes of the film, the escape of Harry's daughter with a bomb key along the boom of a tower crane, was filmed for real. Eliza Dushku, who was 12 years old, and Art Malik, who played Aziz, were equipped with safety gear and were actually outside at 25 meters above the ground. It all was not in vain, the scene looks incredible. In one of the most memorable scenes, Jamie Lee Curtis's character is saved from imminent death by grabbing her husband's arm dangling from a helicopter, after which we are shown her flying over water. They did not use the green screen or the double. Curtis actually did the stunt. Truly incredible dedication. Another fun fact about Curtis is that she took her underwear from her closet to shoot the striptease scene. By the way, it was initially planned that the main character would be completely naked. But unlike the episode with the helicopter, this time Curtis did not give in to the persuasion and insisted on partial nudity. By the way, the moment when Helen falls to the floor during the dance was not in the script. Curtis really slipped off the pole and fell down, but immediately got up and continued dancing. If you look closely, you can see that at the moment of the fall, Schwarzenegger begins to rise from his chair to help the actress, but then sits back down, having been instructed by the cameraman to continue filming the scene. With a total budget of $115 million, the film grossed over $400 million worldwide and also became very successful and popular. Due to this huge success, they even started to prepare a sequel and signed a part of the docs for it. It was supposed to be released in 2001 or 2002. But because of certain circumstances, and we cannot say what they were on YouTube, the sequel was never made. And that is all for today. Please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to write your comments down below. Good luck, everyone!